Hello everyone, welcome to my class. In this video, I'll be continuing with the fourth chapter of class 10th civics, that is gender, religion and politics. And as the name suggests, this suggests that we will going to discuss about the gender, religion and caste, the three factors that plays a very crucial role in politics, right? And in my previous video I have already discussed about gender and politics. Now in this video I'll be discussing about religion, communalism and politics. Now three different terms and totally different from each other, but there is a connection between these terms. Now talking about the religion first. If we talk about the religion, it is an essential feature of any society. It is an inseparable part of society, and in modern democracy we see nations where multi-ethnic or religious communities living together like India, right? But unlike the gender division, which is commonly seen, which is universally seen all over the world in maximum nations, if we talk about the religious division, it is not a universal factor. Means religious division is prominent in few nations but not in all nations, right? And religious communities, different religious communities within one nation do have their different interests, do have their different needs and aspirations. But it doesn't mean that a country which is having only one religious community, they don't differ on any issue. Take the case of Ireland. In Ireland, one religious community is there, and they do have divergent opinion, divergent interest, and diverse needs. Right, so it's not that only if a nation is having only single religious community, they don't face any problem on religious ground. Now let's discuss few facts and then proceed further with the religion. Mahatma Gandhi once said that religion cannot be separated from the politics. Now he doesn't mean that religion should dominate the politics, or what he wanted to emphasize the fact that politics should draw good qualities or good moral values from different religions, right? And religion should guide the politics. Now another thing is when we hear or read any news related with the communal violence, communal rights, then many times we have seen that the Human Rights Commission, they often say that the religious minority, the victims of the most of the communal violence are the religious minority group. Now their rights need to be protected by the government. Government should take action for their protection. Then talking about the family laws, it is often seen that the family laws of different religions, they often discriminate the women against the men. The women do not enjoy much power, much rights in most of the religions. So here also in such issues the government intervention is required, right? So these are certain facts which shows that somewhere the religion has a connection with the politics, because many times people do raise their demands to highlight their interest in politics, religious interest in politics, right? Current example, if we take in India, then talking about the family laws, then the Teen Talaq issue in Islamic laws. Then if we talk about the Hindu religion, then the entry of women in the Sabrimala temple. Now these are certain issues in which the government intervention is required, where within one religion, the people of one religious community, they are discriminated on the basis of some religious laws, right? So this shows that religion has a connection with the politics. Now when we say this, that religion has a relation with the politics, sometimes this is misused. How? In the form of communalism, right? This is communalism. If we talk about, it is basically an ideology in which one person does not it is an ideology which does not treat all religion equally or give importance to every religion. It consider one religion superior than the other. Now such communal ideology, if starts dominating the politics, then it leads to chaos in the society, right? If one religious community is not treating other religious community equally, then it is a problem. If one religious community tries to dominate another community, then it is a problem, right? So such things need to be tackled in a very smart way, right? And government, this is one of the biggest challenge that the modern democracies are facing in such nations where the different religious communities live together, right? And communal politics is basically based on the fact that religion is the basis of the social community. The interest of one religious community cannot be same as the interest of another religious community. Means two religious communities cannot have the same interest. They are different. Now such ideology divides the society. Right. Now let's talk about the different forms of communalism in the politics. How communalism, how this ideology works in politics, right? So there are different levels of communalism in politics. So let's discuss. The first one is the communalism that we practice in everyday belief. The prejudice, the stereotype, the religious practices that we follow in day-to-day lives. Unknowingly, unconsciously, we promote one religion. Like we do teach the religious things to our children, but we often fails to make them understand that there are other religions also, right? So such thing, practicing religion in everyday life, right? Then the quest for political dominance. It is often seen that if we grow up with one or following one particular religion and not known about other religion, and not giving importance to other religions, so such communal ideology or such thinking leads to a quest for political dominance. Means such a person wants to have political authority in hands, right? This can be seen in the case if the majority religious group is there, then the majority group often tries to dominate the minority religious groups, right? Which is seen in the case of Sri Lanka, where the country's one particular religious community is in majority. They try to dominate the minority religious community, right? And if a minority religious community is there, they tries to win the political power in their hands so that they can safeguard their own interests, so that they can protect themselves. Now this type of insecurity promotes the communal feeling, right? Now third stage of communalism in politics is political mobilization on religious line. Now political mobilization means using religious symbol, leading religious personalities, promoting the interest of one particular religious community, right? So these are certain ways where the public or the people are mobilized on the ground on the basis of religion in politics. We have often seen political leaders, they use religion for promoting their political agendas, right? Now Another, the highest level of communalism that is seen in politics is in the form of communal rights, violence, and massacre. When the promotion of one particular religious community interest in politics and its opposition leads to riots, conflicts, violence, massacre, these are the things that is the highest form of communalism that is witnessed in politics. To dominate one religious community over dominance of the one religious community over other religious communities, right? Safeguarding the interest of one particular religious communities. Now such situation is the worst situation in politics, how the religion is misused in politics. Now what will be the answer for these problems, how these problem of communalism can be solved? Now the best way is to follow secularism. The best answer of this question is the nation should be a secular nation. Now secularism is a totally different ideology from, or it is a totally opposite ideology of communalism. Now if we talk about secularism, there are certain things that it do not give preference to one particular religion. Means the nation is not having any official religion. If we talk about India, India does not have any official religion. We cannot say that India is a Hindu nation, no. But there are examples where the nations follow one particular religion. If we talk about Britain, then it is a Christian it is a Christian nation. If we talk about Pakistan, it is an Islam nation, right? If we talk about Sri Lanka, it is a Buddhist nation. So India does not favor any particular religion. All citizens should enjoy equal freedom to profess, practice and propagate any religion. Or we do have this choice also. If we do not want to follow any religion, we are free to do that. There is no compulsion on the Indian citizen to follow any religion. It's our wish, right? Then no official religion of the state, as I told you. No discrimination on the basis of religion, right? Whether it is government post, admissions in government institutions, or in day-to-day life, it is strictly prohibited to discriminate a person on the basis of religion. Now this again keeping the religion side, right? Now Constitution allows the state to intervene in religious matter to ensure the equality within religious communities. On one hand, we are saying that the government, the politics does not have a relation, or the state does not favor any particular religion, and on the other hand, we are saying that the constitution giving power to the state, to the government, to intervene in the religious matter if they see the inequality is encrypting in the religion, right? As I told you, like in such religious matters where people are facing problem, which is affecting the harmony of the society, such religious matters needs to be required government intervention, right? In the case of Teen Talaq, government do intervene in this matter. In the case of Sabrimala temple, women's entry in the Sabrimala temple, the government do intervene in such matter, because they observe this thing that within one religious community, people are not treating everyone equally. So once the equality is not there, then it is something which is against the spirit of democracy. So such issues need to be government intervention, right? So by following secular ideas, by following secularism, we can give answer to communalism. It is the best solution of communal politics, right? So even practicing secularism in politics can improve the politics. So this is all about religion, communalism and politics, how communalism or how the religious beliefs are misused in politics, and how this problem can be solved through secularism. So go through these points, make your notes, and do watch my videos. Please like, share and review and subscribe this channel. Thank you.